everybody. We are back today with William Holloway. He hasn't been on the channel in a little bit. It's been like 5 months, right? It's good to have you back.
Something like that. Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah, this one is interesting. I think it's very interesting. It seems like there are many moving parts to it. We are going
Yes.
to be looking at the astrology surrounding the disappearance of William Neil McCasland, or Major General, right? William Neil
Yeah.
McCasland of the
Hmm.
Air Force. Now, this is okay. So we're okay. His disappearance. He disappeared on. He went missing on February 27th of 2026 after leaving his home around. Okay, this is where it gets kind of murky for me. So I also want to put a disclaimer on this video that I've seen different times for him
Mm.
to have last been seen. um, he was last seen at his home, verified last seen at 10 a.m. by a repairman who was at his home.
Okay.
Now, his wife leaves for an appointment around 11 or 11:10, but I can't nail down if she actually saw him before she left or not.
Right.
So that's why I was kind of that's why when I sent you the chart, the first one was for 11:10 or whatever, but then I
Yeah.
saw this thing that this repairman said, and so we're
Yeah,
going.
she may have left the house without even saying goodbye, and he may have already but not been there.
Exactly. That's precisely. So we're going to go at this 10 a.m. time for the missing, for the last time he was seen, And then so last seen, verified last seen around 10 a.m. Wife leaves the house 11:10, something like that. Comes back around a little afternoon, and he's not there. Then she calls 911 to report him missing at 3:07 p.m. We will also be looking at this chart as well for when he was reported missing.
The
So,
same day.
same day, yes, same day, February 27th of 2026.
Okay.
Now, what's weird about this, he left behind his phone, his glasses that he wore, and his wearable devices, which I think was like a watch, a smartwatch, I believe. He also apparently changed his clothes. His
Hmm.
wife found what he was wearing the last time she saw him, whenever that was, earlier that morning. She found that in the closet or something, or on the floor. She
Hmm.
found it in the bedroom somewhere.
Okay.
So he changed his clothes. She can't figure out, I guess, what he changed his clothes into, which is interesting.
Mhm.
And I guess he took his hiking boots, a wallet, and a revolver, which is, well, I think the phrasing is interesting. The way that I read it, it said a wallet. How many
A
wallets
wallet.
did the man have?
Yeah, just one wallet.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious about that. I don't know if that was some kind of weird typo or what, but I do think that's interesting. A wallet. So I'm
A
thinking,
wallet.
how many does he have? Did he have? But
Yeah.
that's what he took with him. He was somebody who was known to be like an outdoorsman when hiking, all of these sorts of things. He I don't think I said this already. He lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico, lived near the Sandia Mountains. Um,
Mm. Mm.
we'll be looking at a map of this later on, mapping some of this later on in the episode. But so there are a lot of moving parts to this one, though, not just because of him, but also because there appear to be a lot of people that have ties to different government um installations that have gone missing.
Yeah, how many? Because
As
some have
of
been killed, some
some of
have gone missing.
Yes, I'm going to actually read this really quick from my
Okay.
from my phone. I will link this article to the description box for anybody that is curious, because it's a very interesting article. So, as far as the article that I'll link in the description box goes, so far, well, and actually, I think there's one more since this has been written. I'm pretty sure there's one more person that either went missing or died more recently. As we're filming this, it's April 17th of 2026. And I think there was somebody more recently than even this article has has in it. There was Monica Riza, inventor of the Mondaloy, AFRL funded contractor, then JPL NASA, vanished on June 22nd of 2025. Um, Jacob Pritchard, AFRL Sensors Directorate, dead October 25th. Jamie Pritchard or Prickard, I might be pronouncing that wrong. AFL CMC Wright Patterson, dead October 25th. Then there's also Lieutenant Jamie Gustitas, AFRL 711th Human Performance Wing TS. What I'm not even going to try to go into that. Died October 25th of 2025. Carl Grillemeyer, Caltech, Neowise Pipeline, NEO Surveyor Instrument Characterization, shot dead February 16th of 2026. And then William Neil McCasland, former AFRL commander, vanished February 27th of 2026. So there are a lot of different people that have gone missing or have passed away and none of these people, well, like for instance, like McCasland and Reza, they didn't actually directly work together, but they would have been considered colleagues. Like McCasland, he oversaw, like I have here in my notes, I don't get the impression that they worked directly together, but McCasland oversaw some of her projects or the funding for her projects. So they are all kind of linked in that kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he kind of
Mm,
ties into all of that.
right. I mean, it's a lot of people to either to die or go missing that all work in a similar profession
Yes.
in a very short amount of time.
Yes, in a very short amount of time. And this guy,
He's the most recent, right?
well, I actually think there is one more that's kind of
Okay.
tied to this that wasn't listed that maybe was written, that they went missing or passed before after this was written out.
Okay.
I think there might actually be seven at this point. Um, but this guy, for instance, he was the former commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. This is the Air Force Base that supposedly the Roswell crash where they supposedly took the alien craft to. So
Okay.
there's a lot of conspiracy stuff going on.
Tied in for sure.
Yes, yes. So a little tinfoil hat time. I think I made a tinfoil hat for this video, but I think it blew away somewhere. I'm not
Oh
really
no.
sure
I
where.
know. I was just seeing that wind. I was like, is that a nice warm wind or is that a cold wind you're feeling right now? It looked
a,
nice.
a little bit warm, but it
Oh,
blew
good.
my damn hat away.
Your tinfoil hat, it's
my,
missing.
my tinfoil hat's missing. Should we go ahead and look at the chart?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me share the screen. I got a lot of shit up. Okay. Can you see this okay? Actually, let me make it bigger. Can you see that okay?
Yes.
Yeah. But this is
That's when he
actually
was reported missing. Oh,
this
here we
is
go.
this is I have it missing. I just never changed the name. This is the last time that he was supposedly seen at
Right.
10 a.m. on February 27th of 2026 in Albuquerque
Perfect.
by the repairman.
By the repairman.
Something that stands out to me right away. Well, there are a few things.
Yeah.
Uranus conjunct the ascendant.
Yeah. I mean, he was a scientist.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird shit. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so it's very fitting that
Yeah.
you would have it in the first house and close.
Yeah. And close. Um, but then so we've got uh the ascendant ruler is Venus, and that would represent him. And it's in Pisces, which Venus really likes to be in Pisces. But it's conjunct Mercury in Pisces, which was retrograde at the time.
It's also intercepted.
Yes.
which stands out to me.
Yes.
That it's kind of like like Venus is it is exalted in Pisces, but it is
Getting
interesting.
no help being, yeah.
It feels very it feels hidden here.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, right away with the fact that it's conjunct that Mercury retrograde and that it's intercepted, I feel like we're never really gonna know what happened here. Like, I think that's one thing it's telling us, maybe that like if he's alive, he's really hidden. Um, but then again, you have look at that. I mean, you've got the moon conjunct Jupiter. They're both, well, I mean, Jupiter is also retrograde.
Is
So there's like dignity and then there's not at the same time, right? Like,
also that Jupiter is the ruler of the eighth house,
hmm,
which feels kind of hidden too.
yeah,
And then we have Pluto right on the midheaven. There's a lot of hidden shit here.
yeah. But with Pluto on the midheaven, it feels like corruption, some kind of underground stuff, maybe. Um, but like, yeah, I mean, Venus and Pisces might just be telling, being exalted might just be telling us that he's like high up in his like his status of being a sign or whatever his job is. He's, like up top or whatever, right?
Yeah, yeah, he had before he yeah, I mean to command that kind of when I mean to command that research laboratory would
Right.
yes, he was retired, but I mean he from that, but that would still indicate at least a fair amount of I really doubt that they give that to just everybody.
Right. And then the other thing is that we said there's six that are missing. Because
Um
there's few that are dead. Is it six that are missing? Not including the one that was reported after him. But up until this point, was it six missing?
there are this one's mentioning, let me see, one, two, three, four dead, two missing, but I actually feel like I read somewhere else. There is one that, more recently than this, but I want to say there's another one that's missing too that I read somewhere else. So actually, there might be as many as eight altogether with the dead
Okay.
missing.
I was just wondering since, the 11th house, the Senate
Yeah.
ruler is there's six, well, not necessarily planets, but then, including the North node in there, and they're all bunched up. So
But it could quite literally be, you're meaning like it could quite literally be representative. Yeah.
of the others, if they are related,
Yeah.
I don't think they're all related for some reason. Something tells me that like maybe one or two aren't. I don't know. Maybe they are all related. I
Are
don't
you thinking
know.
that this is the ones in Aries?
Yeah, maybe the ones in Aries aren't related, although that Saturn in Aries that's conjunct Neptune rules over that Mars in Aquarius, which is the descendant ruler. Um,
Mhm.
so it's like if he did disappear at the hand of somebody else, it's probably a colleague or someone that maybe higher status. I mean, with Saturn being the ruler, even though Saturn's not in good condition. I've really not saying that this has anything to do with the current administration, but I've really been associating the current administration with it being very Aries, Saturn and Aries, like
I can see that.
debilitate in fall. It's like trying all these new things. Well, we're not going to do that anymore because it didn't work. And I mean, that's like the nicest way I could possibly say it. But you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know if we're saying that they're like responsible for making people disappear. I don't know. I don't know what the reason would be.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to mention before we talk about that, this moon, right? That the co-ruler, right, of the chart in the third house, it's moving, right? Like movement. Like I wonder if this is pointing towards him like on the move, like or
On the
about,
move.
or about to be on the move, whether that's by his own free will or not is another thing. But I do wonder if this is
Hmm.
showing like, he's moving around.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, because I was going to say that, or if he was taken, that it's happened in his neighborhood.
Yeah.
Um, like he went out for a walk and then he was scooped up or something.
Could he have been meeting somebody?
Or he could have been meeting someone and he didn't know how it was going to go, which is why he brought the gun.
There's something about this moon and like Jupiter ruling this eighth house that does make me think about, yeah, going to meet somebody, a secret meeting, or I don't know,
Yeah.
the cause though, right? That would be, or the perpetrator, or whatever, seventh house.
Yeah. Ruled by Mars.
Um,
And
we
that Mars is like right on top of, like right about to enter the 11th house where all that other stuff is.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah.
and in the 10th house, this makes me think of, this guy already seemed like he had a decent amount of authority as it is, right? Or he did at one point. Currently though, he was the director of technology at Applied Technology Associates. So he still
Hmm.
had a title, right? If you will, up for, but it almost makes me feel like if there were a perpetrator, it's somebody above him in some way
Yes.
that has authority over him, or he perceives as having authority.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that Mars and Aquarius, um, could be talking about, the tech side of things, something to do with technology, and science.
I'm gonna
Um,
grab I'm gonna grab my tinfoil hat
you
really quick.
found it? You love it. Love it.
Okay, so I grabbed my tinfoil hat. Let's talk
All
about
right.
that real quick.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the science or the technology element.
Yeah, from some of the things I was reading, there seems to be a NASA component often, things related to NASA space exploration in some. Uh, I don't know how credible sources were about them being connected to alien stuff, because I don't know what officially would count as that,
He-
right?
yeah. Um, yes. But yeah. If I guess if he were to, I mean, I think what people are thinking, people tie in the Roswell thing, right? And the fact that
Yeah.
he was the former commander of that research laboratory. And they're thinking like if he had if anybody were to have secrets, no secrets, somebody in that kind of a position would know it. And I see where that train of thought goes. Also in like the
Hmm.
WikiLeaks emails,
Oh,
the dude from Blink 182 that has like the
yeah, the podcast on.
yeah, he talks about him. I should have had the email pulled up, but he's McCasland is mentioned in those, which is
Okay.
kind of interesting. Um, I-
Well, here's something that just came to mind as you were speaking, and I'm looking at this, is, he did talk about having uh like dissociative things or cloud or a foggy brain,
yes, he
right?
did. Yes, he had recently been experiencing brain fog or mental fog.
Yeah,
I'm not sure now I'm not sure if he like confirmed that before he went missing or if somebody else I'm not
was
100%
saying it.
sure. But yes, there is
What
talk
if he did have some kind of condition, and because of the knowledge he had, Mercury,
about it.
um, but it wasn't his mind wasn't as good condition. Maybe there was fear that he was not safe with these secrets anymore.
That would yeah, I could see how that could be the case. Now the reason why I wanted to grab the tinfoil hat,
Yeah, let's go there.
this Mars okay. So people that watch this channel, they know that I'm literally wearing a tinfoil hat right now. But I'll put one on from time to time when I make videos. I'm wondering directed energy weapons.
Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, we know about what is that one called? The Havana syndrome.
Yes. That's
Where the
exactly what comes to mind, but but maybe not that exact same thing, but something like it. I would be curious to know more about this mental fog or brain fog that he had.
Mhm.
Uh,
Right.
just because that Mars, like we were talking about briefly before we started, this Mars and
An air sign.
yeah, like the futuristic kind of out there quality of Aquarius weapons, Mars is one of the places to look at for weapons and shit.
Yeah.
Um,
I
almost
mean,
into the 11th house, which is technology and shit like that.
hmm. Yeah. I mean, I could totally see that being a thing because on a in a wider lens, thinking of where we are in the world, you know, I, we know because of the astrology that we're entering or we are in a very tumultuous time with Uranus about to go into Gemini. We know that that often signals some kind of warfare.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
but usually there's a lot of like innovation in warfare around that time. And I just feel like this would be the perfect time for the unveiling of this, weapon that's being experimented with or used. Maybe it's no longer an experiment now they're using it. We're for sure gonna hear there's something is gonna come out about some kind of like weapon like this.
I could, yeah, I could see that. And it might not be anything, or it might not be exactly the way that we like picture it,
Yeah.
minds. But yeah, I thought the tinfoil hat wearer in me has thought for a while about this kind of thing. I'm gonna take this off because I feel like it's gonna blow away. Um, oops. Um, but I've been thinking about this for a while, and it's just interesting that that I don't know. There are just things in this chart that make me
Yeah.
and things with the background, the little bit of background that we have.
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. And anything whether that's the case or not, what we know is that here he is up here with all these other planets in the 11th house, all of his colleagues and stuff. This feels very much, related to the scientific field, like if work related. I don't think that it's not, right? So there's just no way all these people disappearing have ties to similar things that are controversial.
Yeah, all within a 6 month period. I find it, yeah. And then
Yeah.
not only that, I mean, all the alien disclosure talk and shit that has been going on more recently. I have a hard, I mean, like you said, they might not all be connected.
Yeah, they might not all be connected, but
I have a hard time believing there's not some connection to some of them.
yeah. And
Um,
while Mars isn't in any kind of particular dignity with Aquarius, it's still like a good Mars likes being in Aquarius because it's the other side of Saturn, right? I feel like
yeah,
it's kind of like I don't know, like there's certain planets that like they don't necessarily have like essential dignity, but they still
they move
work
well
pretty
through them.
they move well through them.
Yeah.
Kind of like Venus in Leo, I feel like. And I remember seeing like people saying that there was like at one time saying Venus was actually exalted in Leo. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. But I'm
Yeah.
just thinking about this. This is a Mars, but everything here is in mostly good shape, but then not in good shape because of retrogrades and Inception, right? Did I say Inception?
Inter I knew.
Inter Yeah, sorry. Because I don't use that as much. I'm aware of it, and so it doesn't pop out to me when I see it, but when you said it, I was like, oh yeah, there it is. Um, yeah.
Should we look at fixed stars? Because I did notice that there's
Yeah.
a couple.
Yeah. And then I'd be curious to look at the order of event through looking at directing by triplicities.
Okay. Do you want to do that with this one, with this chart, or the next one?
We can
Which
do both.
that okay. Um okay, so there was a fixed star near the ascendant at 21 okay, the fixed star though was at where the hell was the fixed star? Okay, so the fixed star near fixed star Rana, love of knowledge, science, much travel, many changes, position of authority, accidents at sea and drowning.
Oh,
Um, the position,
well,
the science, position of authority, love of knowledge, they all probably fit, I would think.
what if and now I'm picturing because all this water, right? You talked about drowning and there's like prominent stuff in water signs. What if he was like I'm just picturing in the movies where they dunk someone's head in the toilet and then they're like, get
Oh,
me
like
in.
trying to get them to like,
Yeah. I'm picturing his head being dunked in like a tub or something.
yeah, I could see that here. But yeah, with all the, yeah, because there is a lot of water in this chart.
Yeah.
There's a lot of water in this chart. Um, there's also, let me see. I looked at the Descendant and the Mars and Pluto, and there
Hmm.
were fixed stars near all of those. The
Okay.
Descendants, let's see, the one near the Descendant is so there's one at 22 degrees, 4 minutes of Scorpio, Alpha Serpentis,
Mm-hmm.
success followed by fall, suicide, insanity, accidents, success in war, politics, writing, problems in love, forgery, shipwreck, loss, and earthquake. And again, the Descendant would be the catalyst, cause, perpetrator, if there is one. Then Mars, let me see, there was one near Pluto. We'll do that one first because it was closest between both. There's one at yeah, it really is. There's one at 3 degrees 40 minutes of Aquarius. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. Uh Beneficence, peculiar events, love affairs, great good fortune. Then there's also one at 5 degrees 34 minutes of Aquarius, keen intellect, good for business, military analysis.
Mm.
And then the Mars, let's see here, 27 degrees. Yeah, there's like one right on Mars at 27 degrees, 45 minutes of Aquarius. I'm not,
Oh, right, like right within
yes.
few minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this one is right on it. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I'll butcher it, but it's sort of great heights, potential of sudden downfall. Um,
Okay.
which makes me curious.
I have some now I'm starting to feel a little bit differently about it. Maybe he did take his own life because he was trying to have control over the situation before someone came for him.
Yes. See, that's kind of where my mind was going too. Like, did he take his own life because, if we were going to go this way, did he take his own life for that reason? Like what you were saying, or almost like, feeling pushed to?
Yeah. Well, and when you talked about the fixed star that was conjunct the ascendant, and you said flooding, not flooding, drowning,
Yes.
I feel like sometimes that can also be like metaphorically. So like drowning, like, and now the water is like overwhelmed emotionally, with stuff happening, like being compounded with just like,
Yeah. Yes, because that is a way that you can absolutely can drown. And I'm also wondering, that ascendant degree said love of knowledge, I believe. Like um almost like drowning in knowledge, drowning because of knowledge,
because of
drowning.
knowledge. Yeah, because of what you know. And then the dignity of it all might just be like telling us that he had agency in this. I'm not trying to like, huh?
What did you, I'm sorry, what did you
Oh,
just
I
ask?
said they might be trying to tell us he had agency in this. I'm not trying to say like it was good that he did this, if he did do this, but he would have more control over the situation as opposed to someone else um doing it for him, right?
And it's interesting. In this chart, I don't see any I don't really see there's not really any major aspect being made between like the ruler of the ascendant and the ruler of the descendant.
Right. They don't know each other.
Which also when I saw that earlier and when I was looking at this last night, making my little notes in my head before going to bed, I was like, I mean, you don't always see it in charts where somebody else is to blame, right? Sometimes that doesn't happen, but a lot of times when there's a perpetrator, there is a connection between
Right.
those
Like a
planets.
story, right?
Yeah, and there's not here. The
Yeah.
idea, what you said though, the idea of him like having agency over what he was perhaps doing or going to do so that somebody else didn't get to him, say, I do feel like there is some other involvement, but
Yeah.
you know, uh, especially with both, I know we want to look mainly at Mars here as a ruler of the descendant, but even Pluto, like they're
Hmm.
both in Aquarius. I mean, obviously Pluto's going to move slow as shit. It's going to be in Aquarius for a while, but it's just they're both in Aquarius, a group focused sign.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, group focus. And also just because of all the pile up of planets that the Venus is with, it's
yeah,
just like clear there's other people involved in some way.
yeah. What was the technique that you wanted to?
Okay, so this thing I've been doing more recently, I haven't even done it with an episode on my own podcast because I've just been like looking at every chart I can. Um, but it's essentially taking an event chart
Mhm.
and by looking at the triplicity of the ascendant, the three triplicities of the ascendant, in order, right?
Okay.
So, for instance, well, not for instance, here, it's well, it matters if it's a day chart or a night chart. This is a day chart. So, and it's the Earth triplicity. So that means we would look at the three Earth triplicities. You would look at it, the daytime ruler, then the nighttime ruler, and then the partner. So if it was a nighttime chart, you would start with the not the nighttime ruler, then the daytime ruler, and then the partner. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here, so basically you just would look at what's happening with each planet and it's supposed to tell you the order of events. So here we have Venus, then the moon, then Mars. So first off, it starts with that Venus, with it conjunct Mercury. It's like the knowledge and or the affliction of suicidal ideation, all of that.
Going
And
back and
it's,
forth,
huh?
going a little back and forth, a little.
Yeah. Um, and it's trining the moon in
Mhm.
and Jupiter and going to that third house with all that stuff. It's like going for a journey, going for a walk in somewhere, going somewhere. But then also third house being mental stuff too. So it's like things on your mind. Um, and then we have the last one is Mars in the 10th house,
Mhm.
which makes me think that if whatever he did, if he did, commit suicide, he did it outside somewhere out in the. Um, but then is it square Uranus or yeah, square
Mhm.
Uranus?
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
that's that's damn near almost exact.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then he went and did it. It was like suddenly it was done. If
Yeah,
we're going that direction, right? There's so many versions of this that we could, but I'm personally leaning towards that he took his own life.
versus him being taken or versus him being, yeah. No, I kind of should we move to the next one?
Yeah, and we
Pick
can
a
do the same thing,
Yeah.
see if it looks any
Okay, so this is when
because
he reported missing at 3:07 p.m. by his wife. His wife also, I can't remember exactly what she says on the 911 verbatim, but it's something like he seems like he doesn't want to be found. It's the way, it's the tone that she uses when she says it that stands out. Because I mean, like, obviously he didn't take his phone, he didn't take his fucking like smartwatch or whatever. So obviously he doesn't want to be found, but it's like the way she says it, there's something kind of eerie about it. Like, I know
hmm,
my husband, and if he doesn't want to be found, he's not, there was like this underlying tone of that. Like,
yeah. Well, the ascendant ruler is the sun in the eighth house, so I think that this is telling us that by the time she made that call, he was already gone.
also the ruler of the last chart is in the eighth too. So
Ah,
we've got both, there, which
yep.
yeah, that's what I noticed too. I'm like, ooh, I don't know if he is not, if he, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also have the moon, still co-ruler of the chart in the 12th.
Hidden. So it's like
They both,
hidden.
both,
Yeah.
both are, I mean, the eighth house is
Right.
so hidden as it is. 12th house, same kind of thing. Just, there's a lot of hidden, a lot of, yeah.
It's just like, how do you do that and no one ever finds you? Like, that's a whole nother thing. I just don't like,
Well,
was water involved? Was he, somehow was water involved somehow? Like, is that why maybe they're not looking in the right place? I don't know.
yeah, it's interesting. We'll pull the map out here in just a little bit. Um, because like there doesn't, and I don't know the topography super well of this part of New Mexico or really New Mexico in general, but it doesn't appear like there is a lot of water, but there very well, I mean, uh,
Yeah.
there is a lot of water though in these charts. We still have one of the rulers of the seventh house. Uranus has now moved to the 10th. Oh, also something else I noticed. The ascendant in this chart, the ascendant in the last chart would fall in this 10th house, right? In this chart,
Yeah.
and it would be intercepted again.
Very
Which is
good.
another like hidden, but it's like how do you do this? How would you go and do something like this and remain hidden? Like event, and
Like knowingly.
yeah, how do you
Because none of these people have been found.
No, the ones that are missing, no. No.
And that in itself is very odd because if they, it also, I think, tells us that they're related because if most people, when they go missing, they're found in some way, it's really hard to just disappear. Oh no. It sucks because I feel like we're never going to really know.
I don't either. You know,
At least that's what I feel like this is the charts have been telling us, right?
my question is like, is he going to remain hidden so well that he's never found? Like, I don't know that we'll ever really know, period, even if he is found. But there's so
Right.
hidden stuff here. It really makes me wonder if he'll even be found.
Yeah. But again, like, and you said this earlier with all the dignity, it's like he doesn't want to be found. Maybe it's like he's doing a really good job of hiding. So maybe, but I just don't think he's alive anymore because there's no way. I mean, look at it.
The other thought I had about him not being alive anymore is like, yes, he could literally not be alive anymore, but I also had this thought that maybe he's not alive anymore as William Neil McCasland.
Oh,
And he's like, how he that's died, if that makes any sense at all.
kinda. Are you saying like he did one of those facelifts where he turned into a different person?
Well, I mean, that or he just went into some sort of hiding to where he's not he
Right,
is no
right.
longer him. Like he's him, but he will not be found as him, if that.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you want to do the thing you did before again with the
yeah. So for the fire triplicity, I can't. Sun, Jupiter, Saturn. Sun, Jupiter, Saturn. So, yeah. First off, the sun in the eighth house, conjunct the north node. Um, yeah, he's already gone, right? Jupiter, in the 12th house, gone.
yeah.
Right?
Yes, yeah. Yeah,
And then
these are like good signs of life.
and then Saturn, maybe very far away,
Yeah.
to a
Yeah,
land far away that we'll never ever see. Or
or
out to sea.
out to sea under some kind of cloud cover, cloudiness with yeah, with Neptune right there.
Yeah. Yeah, so if he is still alive, then, well, I don't think he is. I don't know. I, yeah, this would suggest being taken,
What?
uh, this would suggest, I think, being, that, yeah, wherever his body is, it's like out to sea or something.
Okay, well, while we're talking about
Or
that,
far away.
let me show you the map real quick.
Okay.
Um, this dot here, this marker is I don't know exactly what his address was, nor is it my business to know. Like I don't need to know.
Yeah.
The general street neighborhood of where he was, where he lived, where he lives, where he lived. And this, okay, so what I did was you gener my understanding of this technique is that you generally want to use like the last time seen chart for this. You could use the other one too, but the last time seen is generally what you want to go off of. And so that's what I did here. And I mapped the ascendant line, which is this one right here, which would kind of go off into like I mean it could go off even further than this radius, this circle
Hmm.
that I mapped, but it would essentially go off this way. Now, what's interesting about this is supposedly an Air Force sweatshirt was found
Oh yeah. Hmm.
going north, somewhere northeast of where he lived. Now, I don't know that it's necessarily confirmed that it was his. Um, but I guess it was found like right around the same time that he went missing. But I think it's interesting this line happens to go northeast.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
Now this other line that I wanted to do, and oh, ignore this one. It's this line right here. Not that there's really that much difference. This was the moon.
Okay.
And I mapped that one because he was like that's kind of seemed like in the first chart where he may have been like on foot or in a car or on the moon,
Hmm.
right? So it made sense to do that line as well. Um, Now in this area, right? Like none of these lines though are really going this way. If you were to, if
They're all
you,
going to the mountains.
they're all going to the mountains, unless there is, here, I'll pull it back up for just a second. Unless there is a one that you would want to, here, let me make this bigger. Unless there is one that you would want to do, not maybe not from this chart. Let me get the, oh my God, why does this have to be so difficult? Okay. Is there a certain one that you would want to like map if I were
Oh,
to
you mean a line on here?
a planet or an or an
We
angle?
could do what about Venus?
We could do Venus. Okay, so that would be that would be 351. 351. Okay.
What's the math on that?
Oh, you turn him to like okay, so let me see if I can explain this in a way that like doesn't sound totally confusing. So
Okay.
like Aries would be like 0 to 30 degrees. Taurus is 30 to 60.
Okay.
Gemini is 60 to 90. Cancer is 90 to 120. So you essentially turn the degrees of the planets to the 360-degree zodiac. If that does that make sense?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
hope I explained that well. Sometimes I'm not real great at explaining things.
I
Um,
would have needed a calculator. That's why I was like, what did you do?
you're like, what are you doing in your head there? Okay, so we'll do yeah, like I guess it would yeah, we'll do yeah, we'll do 351. Let me make this smaller. Okay, and Scribble Maps is a pain in the ass. Like it's a cool
I've
program.
never used it. Yeah, I've no, I mean, it's in the book, it's in books with astrocartography and stuff.
It's a I don't want to talk too much too much shit because it is really useful, but it is a major pain in the ass.
Yeah,
It's not the most they could have made it more user friendly. I will say that.
yeah.
Okay, so we'll say, oh my God. Um ah okay, it's not totally precise, but it'd be like 350. Okay, so that still goes up towards mountains.
Yep.
Um we'll call it that.
Hmm.
That would have put him going more that way. The only other line that I might draw would be that Uranus one at 27 Taurus,
Mm-hmm.
which would be like between okay, so be like 57. Ah. Yeah, so it's still going off in that. Yeah, no, I think this is a good one though I mean, outside of the city, but going up
Yeah.
here, that might be a place if they wanted to look. I don't know. I was hesitant to even do this on this because I'm like I don't even know if they'll find him.
I don't think they will. We covered it, but
Yeah, I feel like
I wish I had more answers, right? I like to come away feeling more confident that I have an idea of what happened
I
or
think
not, right?
I think what you mentioned, I'm on that page though with you about him for whatever reason, perhaps doing this himself, whether that's because he felt like he needed to just get lost or or end it, or
Yeah.
because he felt like he had no choice to, was pushed to, whatever the case might be.
And then were they given some assistance? I wonder, like if a handful of them have disappeared, did they disappear? Were they murdered, or did they voluntarily disappear? And if they did take their own lives, was there some kind of mechanism with which they all were able to do it, and so they wouldn't be found? Although, why would they want to do that? I don't know what the motivation. You think if, you were trying to, I don't know.
The only thing I can think of when I think about that, and I don't know how this would work, but like a cleanup
Right?
crew of sorts.
Yes.
But I don't,
That's why I was like, what if he's out to sea? What if they're all like,
yeah, like
so the body can't be found?
moved the way of one of those lines at first and then
Right.
somehow taken elsewhere.
Right. Man, I want
Interesting.
to know.
What?
I want to know.
It's interesting stuff nonetheless.
Yeah,
Very, very interesting.
absolutely.
Well, thank you for coming on here and doing this with me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun, as always.
It is always fun. And where can you be found?
You can find me on Instagram, William dot Stanley Holloway. At William dot Stanley Holloway is my Instagram. I post on there mostly. But I have a website, which is williamhollowayastrology.com, where you can find my podcasts. I have two podcasts, but those are both on YouTube and all the streaming platforms.
I'll
Orbitals,
watch.
yeah,
Listen.
yeah. Orbitals is is a straight up astrology one. And then Astrology of the Unknown is my true crime astrology podcast that Ellie has been on a few times, which has been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun.
And yeah,
And I will put all of those links also in the description box so people can check you out.
yeah. Come book a reading with me. I would love to do that. I did have a follow-up. Come book a reading.
Go book a reading. And yeah, well, thank you again for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And for all of y'all watching, I will see you later.